Transfers are a concept borrowed from the world of traditional sports. We were thrilled when Drogba returned to Chelsea and heartbroken when the Messi Barcelona and Ronaldo Real Madrid eras came to an end. In the past, it amazed us that a player's transfer between clubs could cost millions of dollars. Now we find ourselves in an ecosystem where even a one-month loan of the world's best player can cost $1 million. Transfers often begin as rumors, with only a handful eventually becoming reality. Today, we'll dive into some of the rumors that never materialized and explore whether that turned out to be for better or worse. Nico and Simple to Falcons. Amid insider rumors about Nico's potential move to Falcons after the major in Shanghai, it's worth recalling a similar situation from last year. When news broke that the Saudis were ready to heavily invest in their esports team, speculation ran wild about the possibilities. One of the most prominent rumors was Nico's transfer to Falcons. Why couldn't it happen? He's an experienced player with outstanding statistics. Most importantly, he's a superstar, a name the Saudis could leverage, much like Ronaldo in football, for esports washing. Nico, the 2023 champion of Cologne and Katowice, is also capable of stepping into the role of team captain when necessary. The transfer seemed plausible, and even Nell, one of the most respected insiders in the CS community, reported on it. While Falcons management had targeted Nico, it later emerged that the Bosnian star himself initiated the transfer discussions. This confirmed NL's claims. However, negotiations ultimately fell through, not on the organizational side, but with the player himself. It was a pretty close call in the end. The biggest reason I decided to stay is because I wanted to win more, and I see myself being more successful here in G2 than with Falcons. That was the deciding factor. So, who came out ahead in this situation? Clearly Nico. Although 2023 didn't bring him flawless results, G2 consistently reached most of the major tournaments, maintaining their Tier 1 presence. Meanwhile, Falcons have continued to struggle, failing once again to make it to the playoff stages of top-tier events. Last year, G2 was happy with his departure for such a price. As far as I understand, he changed his mind because Falcons will miss many tournaments. Next year, everything will be fine with this, considers Neil. But is this what Kovac truly needs? Does he choose a strong team consistently reaching playoffs, or a lucrative, oil-funded salary with unclear prospects? Nico's super team to FaZe. It seems Nico wanted to build an interesting roster around himself during his time at FaZe Clan. I was probably a big part of why coldzera joined the team, YNK and I, because he had worked with YNK before, and he wanted to work with him again, and he wanted to play with me because we're close friends. I think it was during the summer break the first plan was to create a new team, which was me, Nexa, Hunter, Fallen, and Cold. That was our first plan, but then some things couldn't just be done because of contracts. This proposed roster certainly had the potential to be fascinating, even if it wasn't guaranteed to succeed. Unfortunately, as is often the case, those frustrating contractual limitations got in the way. Simple to SK, MIBR. From the moment he began his rise to the top, every transfer window brought a flurry of rumors surrounding Simple, speculations about where he might go, for how much, and with whom. It was already clear that a new star was emerging and everyone wanted a chance to secure him. We've previously mentioned the potential transfer of Simple and Flamey to SK Gaming in our previous video. At the time, Simple believed he could achieve more with SK and was determined to leave Navi. In an interview, Kane, Navi's coach at the time, shed some light on the situation. When Simple was considering a transfer to MIBR, I decided to call him and explain that it wouldn't be a step forward compared to Navi and that we could achieve results just as good, if not better. But when I started talking to him, he cut me off and said, "Why are you calling me? I already have other interests. I'm already on another team." Although the transfer faced far greater obstacles than those surrounding Nico, G2, and Falcons, mainly due to Navi and SK's inability to agree on financial terms, it was still very close to happening. At one point, Simple had a change of heart, but Flamey was already at the airport, prepared to personally cover a large portion of the transfer costs. In the end, the management at Natus Vincere successfully convinced the future GOAT to stay. In 2018, I didn't go to MIBR because I wasn't sure we'd dominate, Simple later reflected. I already had experience playing in America. Simple to FaZe. As it later turned out, SKMIBR weren't the only ones interested in Sasha. FaZe clan also expressed interest in signing the Ukrainian sniper. The first attempt occurred in 2016 to 2017 when Simple left Team Liquid and was considering all available offers. However, his strong desire to join the legendary Ukrainian organization Navi ultimately prevailed. FaZe made a second attempt to acquire Simple at the end of 2018. This was revealed by FaZe co-founder Yusuf FaZe Apex Abdel Fattah. There was a moment when Simple was close to joining FaZe. Serious negotiations took place, but they ultimately fell through due to business-related reasons. It all started with him personally reaching out to a FaZe representative, expressing his interest in joining us. And I can't say we weren't interested. It was a mutual desire, but things just didn't work out. Did Sasha make a mistake by staying with Navi? We can confidently say no. Together, Simple and Navi achieved greatness. With them, he became the player we know today, the best CSGO player of the decade, the true GOAT. Zywoo to HellRaisers. What would you say if we told you there was a time when Zywoo was a step away from signing with HellRaisers? Wait before saying we've lost our minds. We'll explain everything now. This story was told by Bondik, a former HellRaisers player, during a podcast with Lennon We in 2022. So, you see, we're not pulling your leg. These are exclusively confirmed facts, at least in this video. But it's interesting to imagine how the story of the French genius, the only one who could compete with Simple during the CSGO era, would have unfolded if his serious career had started with HR. Angel to Navi. Speaking of HellRaisers, we can't forget about their ex-IGL Angel and the transfer that almost brought him to Navi. This happened during the aftermath of Gambit's shocking victory at the Major in Krakow. Navi, struggling at the time, surprised everyone by signing Kane and Zeus from Gambit. However, this transfer wasn't their original plan. Initially, Navi was eyeing Angel as their new leader. Why Angel? He was a consistent performer, a veteran of the scene, and known for his sharp strategizing skills. He seemed like the perfect fit to lead Navi. But as it turned out, financial hurdles derailed the deal. The only reason I didn't join Navi back then was the inflated demands of those negotiating my transfer and Zeus's unexpected return from Gambit, Kirill, Angel, later recalled after leaving HellRaisers. According to sources, Navi was willing to offer $300,000 for Angel, but HR's management wanted even more. To complicate matters, Angel owned a small stake in HellRaisers, which posed another roadblock due to Valve's rules against players holding shares in competing teams. Ultimately, the transfer never materialized. Years later, Angel would finally join Natus Vincere, but in a different time and a completely different role. But that's a story for another day. These are just a few examples of transfers that almost happened. We're sure there are plenty more stories like these waiting to be uncovered. So if you don't want to miss out, make sure to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell. Stay tuned for more videos about your favorite games. Good game!